Boom, coming in hot, Chinch, on a nice Friday. What's going on, brother?
There he is. Sean Casey's world tour continues. He is now driving. There's a lot of Sean Casey on the road, walking golf courses with the Gators. Where are we headed now?
I'm heading to Spring Lake, New Jersey, brother. Spring Lake, New Jersey, out there at the Jersey Shore. Got cars past me. I'm in a tunnel right now, but thank God I'm not driving. It's perfect.
Oh, you are in a tunnel. You have that blurred background on, and in the tunnel. This is trippy.
Yeah,
I like the look right now.
it feels weird, doesn't it? I know.
Yeah.
I know. If you want to feel like you're on a trip, tune into this episode right here, right now.
No, it's good. Now wait, did I hear correctly? Did I hear Sarah before this say that you are doing what at a wedding?
Yeah, dude, I'm officiating a wedding tomorrow. My first wedding ever. Officiating.
So good.
Good friends of ours are getting married. They asked me if I would officiate the wedding, and I'm like, why not? I've got a couple bombs in a World Series. I'll officiate a wedding. I know exactly. Don't those translate? That translates, doesn't it?
Yeah. Did you write? Do you have like notes and stuff? Like what's happening?
I'm getting that taken care of right now.
Okay, good.
I'm locking it in. I've been thinking about what I'm going to say, and I'm locking it in. So, I've never done this before. Like I said, my dad back in the day was a Catholic priest. I know he's done a lot of weddings. I probably should have locked it in with him.
Oh, I lost you. Wait, hold on, I lost you.
Wow.
You're back.
Okay. How about now?
Yeah, you're good. Wait, so you said your dad was a Catholic priest?
Yeah. My dad was a Catholic priest back in the day and did a lot of weddings. So I probably should have locked it in with him and given him a call. I know he's watching right now, so I'll be calling you later, Dad. See what
That actually reminds me of my wedding. So I get married on Long Island at this place, the Garden City Hotel, which is beautiful, great food.
Yeah, I was there. I
know you were there, but so here's my story.
In the wedding. I was in your wedding.
Yes, I know. I'm talking to the the audience. You didn't wear an actual Hulk outfit. I mean, you guys wore T-shirts underneath and whatever. It was for a freaking picture, man.
Yeah.
Now here's the knowledge thing about that. So they knew, like, I knew a bunch of ball players, and like, who else was there? Cliff was there. Al was. I mean, there's a bunch of you guys there, and I'll never forget. Like, oh, you have the. They got us the presidential honeymoon suite, whatever. Everything's great. And I was like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. And all of a sudden, Casey shows up. He gets there, knocks on my door, and he's like, dude, I'm right across the hall from you. I'm like, what? And I go into his room, and it was arguably bigger than mine. And he goes up, Sean Casey goes up to the counter, and they're like, oh, are you Sean Casey, the ball player? Hold on, we're going to upgrade you. And I think you had a bigger suite than me and Jess did for my own damn wedding, dude. Do you remember that?
I was like, kids, do you want to take my room? If you want to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, freaking A. I think we actually partied in the guys from the wedding party. We went to your room so we wouldn't mess up my room. Like,
that's true.
God forbid we came home the night of the wedding. It was just empty beer cans all over for the night of Jess's wedding. So thank you for that. I do remember that.
Oh my God, so great! That was a great wedding, dude. I can't believe that was it 8 years ago?
Yeah.
Seems like yesterday.
Isn't that crazy? Casey was
incredible. Yeah.
The best was in the back. In the end, Casey had like a big cowboy hat on and was dancing to Monet Monet, which I do have video of. I might sneak in here one day. I'm sure Sarah's gonna want to see that too.
Sarah would love that. You kidding me? She's there for that party.
Yeah, there she is. Oh wait, I have one other story to tell you. Oh. Let's do this first. We got a couple topics today. One is, I believe I thank Sarah for this too. Sarah was giving us ideas today because we're both like burnt out. Is this the anniversary of Johan Santana's no-hitter? Were you working that night or were you not working that night?
I was not working that night, but it's always funny because it's the mystery no-hitter, right? Because didn't was that against the Astros? Wait, who was Carlos Beltran playing for then?
Hold on, it might have been Beltran. Hold on. Well, what the controversy of that was it was before replay, and somebody ripped a liner down the line.
Yeah, Beltran, Carlos Beltran.
Okay, yeah, that's hold on. And they called it foul, but it was actually fair. So the crazy thing is, I was doing MLB Tonight that night, and I will never forget this so long as I live. It's Greg, Harold, and And meanwhile, by the way, this was the first no-hitter in Mets history. There were only 2 teams left at the time. Like the Padres and them. I don't think the Padres done it yet. I don't think they've done it.
Yeah, Musgrove did it last year.
Right. Yeah, okay. So they were the only 2 teams left, and the Mets have had great pitching forever. So I'll never forget the no-hitter ends, and we come on, and we're all fired up. Tony Petitti, obviously, he was the mastermind behind everything, and he's like, we got a no-hitter, it's good for ratings, whatever. I just remember Amsterdam going, this really isn't a no-hitter, is it, guys? Like, and Harold's like, yeah, I think you're right. This really isn't a big deal. And Tony was like, tell them to stop that. We're promoting this game. This is a no-hitter. A no-hitter's a no-hitter. Oh, my God. It was like a scary couple moments in the control room that night. I'll never forget it. But it's a no-hitter. You got to call it a no-hitter, right? You can't put an asterisk next to it.
Hey, you're following the rules. There was no replay then, dude. So it's a no-hitter. That's the bottom line. I mean, we can't look back now. It's like tennis match back in the day before they had the line things where you just go, bam, hang on a second. It goes to the digital, replay.
Yeah. I wish they had that. I wish they had that replay. That is the greatest replay in all of sports. There's nothing even close to it.
The tennis one.
Yes. Fans get more excited about the replay than they do about the actual point that was scored before.
Yeah, well, dude, even now, it's the same way. Like, don't you think it's the replay and the umpire being with the mic? I was like, okay,
I like that,
dude. I think and the crowd goes nuts.
Yes, it enhances the game.
There are a couple calls at the plate overturned. It happened the other day when I was even in college. They do it at Kent State. There was a play at the plate. It was a big play, and it was tied the game, I think, and they're waiting. They're like, after further review, the runner is safe. The play.
That's so cool. Imagine you had that when it was like the Jim Joyce, Armando Galarraga thing. That is still to this day one of the biggest.
That one. And Jim Joyce, that umpire, is one of the greatest dudes out. Like when he'd be at first base, like, oh man, Jim Joyce is out here. We're gonna have some good conversation.
Yeah.
So cool, dude. Really quick, I got something I just thought of.
Yeah.
Did you see the video the other day of the state championship high school game?
I was just
where they punched out that kid to end the game, but the ball hit the dirt where the catcher needs to throw it down to first or tag the runner. He goes tags the runner, misses him by 5 feet, and then he puts the ball in his pocket and runs out to the pitcher and starts jumping up and down like the umpire wasn't going to see it. That guy runs to first. He keeps running, and there's a dog pile, and then the 2-run score, and they lose the championship game.
Devastating,
dude. But like, come on, like, if you can't do the little things in right life, you can't expect the big things of a championship if you can't throw the ball down to first. You know what I mean? So I was like, what is happening here?
Were you ever, high school, college, or pros, ever involved in a play where you, like, either top 9 or bottom 9, like, lost the game defensively?
Dude, we were up. I'll never forget it. We were up 8-2 against the Cardinals in the 9th. Danny Graves comes in, which usually freaking lockdown, shutdown. All of a sudden, he knock, walk, hit, 3-run bomb. Edmonds. I'm like, all right, it's 8-5. Walk, fluke, bullet. Okay, it's freaking 8-7. So, like, dude, too, like, defensively, when that starts happening, you're like, oh my God, you start getting on your heels a little bit, whatever. Mark Rosalana comes up, 2 guys on. I think bases loaded, 2 guys on. Hits me. I got 2 stories for you. He hits me a freaking rocket off my glove. It goes down. I mean, one of those right-handed got inside. It was kind of slicing to me. Hits off my glove. 2-run score. We lose 9-8. I was like, oh my God, like the worst feeling ever after the game. It's incredible. But the worst one for me, dude, was when I was in Toronto. 3-3 game, my first Boston start ever. I get a big knock to tie the game at 4 in the top of the 8th. I'm like, let's go, man. Place is cracked. The place is not crapped. The place is packed. The place is packed. Sky Dome, dude. 60,000 people. Red Sox. Like, wherever we went, it was volatile. But in Toronto, like I said, man, those fans they're hockey fans.
Yeah.
So game's tied at 4. Greg Zahn comes up. Bases loaded. I'm thinking about, okay, if it's hit hard to me, I'm gonna turn 2. Soft, I'll throw it home. By the time I'm going through that scenario in my head where I'm going with the ball, Greg's on first pitch swinging, hits a rocket off the lip, dude. It hits my glove, ricochets down the line. All 3 runs scored, dude. All 3 runs score. I'm out there, and 60,000 people in unison start chanting, Casey, Casey, you suck.
That's terrible.
So we couldn't get the last out either. But the chant kept going for like 6 minutes.
Oh my God.
Casey, Casey, you suck. And then after the game, I was like, all the Boston music, what happened on that play? I was like, dude, Iron Skillet. I didn't make the play. Went down the line, lost the game.
Iron Skillet. That's so funny. What I remember my freshman year, we're on our spring trip, and I'm trying to like crack the lineup in college, and I pinch hit. We are down by 1 in the top of the 9th. I pinch hit with a runner on third, 1 out. Right. My coach calls us squeeze. Oh, no. I was good. I was pretty. Bunting was probably part of got me to college. Right. Freaking pitch comes in. I square around. I hit. This was like the hardest bunt in the history of the world. One hopper back to the pitcher, throws home, God. Tags the guy standing. I couldn't even get 3 feet out of the box. Double play on a squeeze to end the game. And I'm like, your freshman year, you think like I'm sitting in the dugout and everybody's like packing up, and I'm just sitting in the dugout like I'm never gonna start. I'm never gonna play. I'm never gonna play again. And it's all going through my head. And my coach, Paul Fernandez, is the greatest guy. But he's like kind of like a very laid back talker, but he was like, he would tell you what happened. He just walks past me. He goes, bunted the ball right back to the pitcher, Chinch. And I go, I'm aware, coach. And I was there for the day. I didn't sleep for like 2 days. I couldn't sleep until we played the next game. That's the one good thing about baseball is you just got to get through the night of a really horrible night, because then when you step on the field the next day, you're like, okay, I can do something. I can do something to get my mind off of what I did yesterday that I screwed up so bad, Right,
that's the best thing, dude, is just get out there again. You hit a rocket to the pitcher, 1 hopper, you double up freshman year. That's an absolute insomnia moment. You're not sleeping that night. You're like, just get me back out there.
Yeah, terrible. Anyway, so speaking of ball games here, we are into June, okay? I like to ask you this kind of stuff every couple months because you break down seasons. You used to break down seasons into you would do it into weeks, quarters, whatever.
Yeah.
So do these teams right now on June 2nd, do they know who they are yet? Or do they or are they still feeling themselves out for the most part?
Well, there's 2 sides to this coin, because the good teams know they're good. Like, when I played with the Red Sox, like we're 2 months into the year, whether, if we're at 500 or boat racing teams, we know over 6 months, you got Josh Beckett, you got John Lester, you got Daisuke Matsusaka, you got a staff, you got a bullpen, you got Papelbon back end, your lineup's loaded with Ortiz and Ramirez, so you're legit, and you've played enough games to know we're going to be okay. Now, I've also played on teams like the Reds, where we got in 2004, we got to the All-Star break. We were first in that division. And I remember Matt Morris, pitcher for the Cardinals, getting interviewed right around that time. They asked him at the All-Star game, hey, listen, you guys are third in the division. The Astros are second. The Reds are in first. What do you think about this division? He goes, well, we're not worried about the Reds. I was like offended. He's like, we're worried about the Astros. And we know that we have the pitching and the Astros have the pitching. We're going to be good. We'll be there at the end. And I was like kind of offended. Dude, he was right. We didn't have the pitching for the 6-month haul. At a 3.5-month sprint, we were 2 games up, and we had the offense for it. Yeah. But we didn't have the pitching. So, like, we got to the break there, and I was like, we still didn't know who we were. Are we the team that's in first? Or are we the team that still doesn't have the good enough pitching? And it's going to show up eventually. And it did. We ended up in last place in the Central, being at first at the All-Star break. So, I think the good teams like the Orioles, like they're like, who are we? We're good. The Blue Jays, they're kind of like, the Blue Jays are sitting there saying, who are we? And they're sitting around 500. But I think they know they're good, and they've underachieved so far.
Like what about Arizona? How about Arizona? Red Sox? Go Red Sox.
Red Sox are a team right now. They're like, who are we? Are we going to be good, or are we not going to be good? Arizona's a team that's like, we're young. We think we're good. And are we this good, though?
Yeah. So
there's definitely some. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, no, it's interesting, dude. Dude,
Dude, I think the Padres are a team that are saying, "Who are we? Who are we?" Because they did the same thing last year, dude. They struggled, got hot when they needed to, got in, did well in the postseason. But I don't know, man. Like, who are the Padres? Are they the team that we think's loaded with talent, or are they a team that just is going to be a little over 500?
I like that. Now, play front office for me right now. Are you thinking yet, like, have you identified what we have and what we don't have and what we need yet? Say if you're an elite team, you're probably just going to plug a hole or something. But, like, are there Baltimore Orioles, like you said, or teams like that going, all right, we got to start thinking about plugging in some holes, or you still have another month or so before you start worrying about that?
I think the front offices know who they are right now, know the holes that they might have. You could never have enough pitching. So every front office right now is looking for relief pitching. Where could we make a move? Where could we make a trade? Where could we get ahead of the other teams? Like coming into June, you're like, hey, get ahead of the deadline.
Yeah.
Don't let it come down to that. But I think there's definitely something about teams knowing who they are and knowing what holes they need to plug.
Yeah.
Whether it's a bat, another bat here or there. And dude, GMs they're having conversations right now with their advanced scouts, guys that are out there. Hey, go see this guy. Go see this guy. What prospects could we move at the deadline to get this guy? What fringe prospects could we package? Stuff like that. So no doubt, dude. GMs, front offices at this time of the year, they're looking for exactly what they need.
Yeah, there's probably right now, I would say, a lot of scouts going to Kansas City Royals games. They're 17-39. There's a lot of scouts going to Oakland. I don't even know what they can get back, but there's a lot of scouts going to Colorado because those teams are not. They're borderline done already. So now you're probably saying, like, who's their best player? Let me go get that guy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, how have you been on teams? So let's say the bad Reds teams you're on. Were you guys looking around going, who's going to be here and who's not by the time the break happens?
Dude, I still remember in 2003, we got rid of Booney when I was with the Reds. We got rid of, I think, Scott Sullivan. We got rid of, we just started getting rid of all my buddies. I couldn't believe it. And I think we were in the back of the plane, and Dean Taylor was our assistant GM at the time. And I remember we were in the back of the plane. We probably had a couple pops going. We had the Bose speaker going, and somebody put on Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it. No. And so I remember I got on the mic and I'm like, we're not going to take it. And all our buddies had just been traded. And I remember going, Dean, we ain't going to take it. He was on the plane.
Wow.
And I was like, and so the whole back of the plane, Joe Rana, Gravy, no, not Joe Rana, Gravy, Lar, all these guys, every guy, Dunner, Kearnsey, we're all like, we're not going to take it. Then the whole back of the plane would go, Dean, we ain't gonna take it.
Wow.
And everybody's kind of looking back, like, are the players really saying, Dean, we're not gonna take it? And I was like, yeah, we are. We don't care anymore. This is August. You're trading our friends. We're 45 games below 500. We're all depressed at this point, and we're yelling to the assistant GM that we're not going to take it.
That's amazing, dude. That's you are the mayor and the nicest guy in the world. But there are some stories you've told, like when you told. Who was it? Tom Brenneman when he was riding you, or when Marty Brenneman was riding you. Yeah. You grabbed him on a bus. Is that a fact? Didn't you do that?
Totally was cantankerous. I'm like, dude, you're cantankerous. You know what I mean? Like you're. But dude, don't mistake my kindness for weakness at times, right? I mean, at times you gotta stand up for yourself. You can't just take a punch to the face and go, oh yeah, just keep punching me in the face. Sometimes. And as a leader, sometimes in those teams, like you got to stand up for your buddies. You got to stand up for guys that don't have a voice. Like I did kind of have a voice then, so
sure.
I probably got on a few guys that maybe I shouldn't have, but I felt like I should at the time. So.
I love that. You ever grab a guy and say you're not playing hard enough for this team?
Oh, dude, in 2003, I remember calling a meeting. We so many guys were hurt. They had called up a lot of young guys, and I was so frustrated because I just felt like some of these dudes that got called up had an opportunity to really come up here and play hard. And like some of these guys weren't playing hard. And I called a team meeting one day and I'm like, listen, I don't know who you think you are. Like, I don't know if you think this just happened. You just come up to the big leagues and all of a sudden you're here in that this game's easy. This game's hard. And I was like, when you come up to the big leagues, you have an actual shot to like impress some people, show the people that you can play and have a career up here. And I go, and one thing you better get, clear is that this isn't the I'll try league. This is the either I'll get it done league or you're gone. So like you guys come up here and thinking you're just gonna try. Like, no, you gotta put up numbers. You gotta show up every day. You gotta post. You can't waste a pitch. You gotta be all in every day. And I was like, that's how you play in the big league. So for the guys that are just showing up with the I'll try crap, I guess what? You're gonna be out of here soon. You'll never be back. And start freaking waking up.
Yeah, that's how
I'm getting all fired up now.
Yeah, this is how you should officiate the wedding tomorrow. Listen, it is in sickness. I don't care how sick you are. I don't care how healthy you are. You're in this together. This is a team. There you go. Just do that and then slam your book down at the end and walk off.
Yeah. Hey Mahoney, this isn't an I'll try marriage. This is an I'll get it done marriage. Or freaking Rachel's out of here, okay? I'm sick and tired. You got your dad here, your mom here, your parents here, and all these different kids, and Rachel's got her family. She's not waiting for you to just be like, hey, I'm just giving it a good try, Rachel. No, she wants to get it done, okay? This is how I get it done, Mahoney. That's what I'm going to say.
Perfect. We did it. We figured it out. All right. Well, enjoy doing that, man. Have fun out there. We got to tell you, fill you in on Monday. Hey, if you guys haven't seen or heard Joey Molinaro, go do it immediately.
Dude, Joey Molinaro nailed it yesterday. So freaking funny. What a comedian. What a genius of a person. The stuff that he's doing, man. And that was really cool of him to come on with us, man.
Yeah. So go check that out. And everybody else, enjoy your weekends, right?
I'll let you know how the wedding goes, bro.
Yes.
I might drop that. Thanks for the speech. I might drop that on him to see how well it goes.
Perfect.
It's like my buddy Tim McGarvey one time at his brother's wedding. He was the best man. Had a few too many Tanquerays, I think. And he was like, first thing he says is, the best man speech, like, hey, mom and dad, thanks for the open bar. And everyone's like, he said, as soon as he said that, nothing but crickets.
There's nothing I enjoy more than a cringeworthy speech. Yo, it's the greatest thing in the world. Anyway, all right, well, let's go. Have fun, man.
All right, Chickie. Love you, man. Have a great weekend. Everybody listening, thanks for listening to us. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys next week.
See you.